Greetings, everyone. You're with Tanisha Ali, and today I'm going to talk a little bit more about choosing your loctician. I've had a few questions, and then I've had some experiences of my own that made me think I should probably, dive into this topic and give all of us more things to think about as it relates to choosing your loctician, whether you're at the beginning of your journey or whether you're farther into your journey and are needing to have to change your loctician for whatever reason you're looking for another one. So I'm going to just add a little more content than I have talked about before. And again, remember, this is not just for the beginner, it's also for the seasoned sister locker, only because I don't meet too many people who have been with their original loctician. Now, I've been with mine for the duration of 8.5 years. I also have a backup that I go to occasionally. I rotate between the both of them, and I'm very satisfied with both of them, although they are both very different. So hang on for this video, and if it seems like something that can make sense to you, stick around. Remember, watch from start to finish. That's how you best support the channel. Okay, so let's dig in. The first thing, of course, the realities, the grounded conversation of money. Okay, money makes a difference in terms of how much you're being charged. But to me, and I really wanted to put that down at the bottom of the list for the 10th thing, but I said, you know what? That may be how I feel, but it may not be the reality for everyone else. To me, I'd rather have someone that I really connect with. That to me is worth more than money. Someone that I really connect with, someone that does a really good job. So money is important, but I'm not going to allow $50 to $100 or even more than that for my initial install to keep me from choosing the person who I may last with for the long haul, or the person who I believe can give me the better service. The least hopping around, the less hopping around, the better. So, okay, obviously consider price, but don't get stuck with price. Number two, when choosing a loctician, make sure you clarify whether or not, sorry about that, I'm holding the camera because make sure you clarify whether or not your reties include a hair washing. Mine don't. Maybe they did and I just washed mine anyway, but I prefer to wash my own hair because I prefer to detangle it and to unmarry the locks. I can be a little more gentle on my hair, but it's always really been that way since I can remember. And both my locticians, neither of them have brought that up. I don't know if because I came in doing it that way, if that's the way it ended up. But I hear a lot of ladies have their hair washed when they get it done. So my thing is just find out ahead of time. You guys, crimson red color, this is a rinse. I'm going to wash this weekend for the first time in, I'm jumping to another topic. For the first time in, oh gosh, y'all going to see me in a month. I'm going to have those braces. I can talk to y'all more in my behind the scenes videos about what's really going on with my teeth that maybe you can, I hope, or cannot see on camera. But anyway, so I'm going to wash my hair this weekend, and it'll be the first time in almost a month. But just know going in. Number three, what's their position on oiling hair and why? And this is specifically as it relates to you if you are a newbie. You want to know, because you hear all this controversy about oiling the hair. It's important to know how your loctician feels about that, and if she feels that individualization is more of what is important rather than following blindly the Sisterlocks philosophy. Why? Because in the beginning, if you're putting oil in your hair and she told you not to, when you start experiencing something that she can attribute or blame oiling for, then you might have a potential issue. Okay, so you might really, my thing is you want to think about that. My loctician, she started me out with oil. And I don't know that I could have even lasted without putting oil on my hair in the beginning especially. So that's something you want to consider. Number four, you want to get a feel for how this person handles complications and customer service. Now, this might not always be easy in the beginning, because what are you going to do? Say, well, how do you handle customer service issues? Well, it may be through a series of tactful questions that you ask them that give you some insight into how they handle difficulties. For example, if you have let's say you ask something like, so how do you deal with people who have difficulty keeping their appointments on time or something like that? That's a pretty neutral kind of question in a way. And you have one loctician that says, well, I try to find out what happened because, people do have emergencies. But if it's a habit, then I sit down and I have a talk with them. That's one response. Then you may have another loctician that might say, listen, when I give you that person an appointment, they got within 15 minutes to get there, baby. And if they don't get there, they can just reschedule. That's a mindset. That's the type of person you're dealing with, right? So you got to be able to sense out or vet out areas where the person may be a little rigid. If you're rigid yourself and you're an appointment keeper, that's going to work fine for you because you don't play and you don't want anybody to play with you. But if you're someone that's a little more laid back in your energy and you appreciate a little bit more flexibility and you're not going to be upset if you get there and she still has somebody in the chair for another 20 minutes, then those are the kinds of things you really want to consider. And I'm looking at my list and I'm going to leave anything out. Number 5 is important. The degree of loyalty to the brand. Now, okay, why is that important? Well, typically, although not always, when people first get Sisterlocks, they are die-hard Sisterlock brand supporters. They want everything done the exact way. They don't want a part out of order. They want the grid on point. They want to follow. If they go to someone, for example, that's a consultant, and the consultant says, oh, you don't have to use the Sisterlock shampoo, they're going to start looking around like this. What do you mean I don't have to use the Sisterlock shampoo? Wait. I want to do this by the book. You need to get a feel for what your position is on that and what the loctician's position is. Now, as I have evolved in this process, I realize a lot of that stuff doesn't make a difference. But I do want the person to use the Sisterlock tool on my hair. I'm not going to accept the retightening without the Sisterlock tool unless I am doing the retightening. Now, does it make a difference? Probably. I don't notice in the times I've retightened this that it's made a difference. But at the same time, I don't know over the long term. I don't feel that it has, and I don't think that it will. But at the same time, if you're paying for the Sisterlocks, then you want the person to use the tool, right? But if they're not all for the brand and suppose they don't want to use the tool on your hair, and they ask you, do you mind if I, palm roll your locks, or do you mind if I use this craft needle, or do you mind if I use the nappy lock tool? You got to decide ahead how you gonna feel about that. And like I said, if you're not a diehard Sisterlock fan, it's not a big deal. If you're not diehard for the brand and you're not in the box, but again, it's about you. It's not so much about them. It's about you determining really how you feel and making sure that your sentiments line up with the person that's going to be in your head. And that's really important. So extrapolate on that and take that to the next level, because that can present in all kinds of scenarios, down to someone being very, very rigid. They want you to get the starter kit. They want you to make sure you get in there at, weekly intervals. They're going to do everything by the book, which means that if you come in and you've done something that's not by the book, maybe you'll get charged for a certain amount of slippage. Maybe you'll have an issue about something else that creeps up. So just, approach that with some degree of open-mindedness and be willing to consider the different ways that can play out. All right. Next is number 6, policies and professionalism. This is important. Down to, are they starting on time? Are they punctual? Are they trying to take a food break while they're on your hair? Are they eating while they're doing your hair? Are they making phone calls while they're doing your hair? Are they entertaining other clients that may be stopping by and stopping every 15 or 20 minutes to talk to someone about something else that they got going on there? Where's the service being performed? People tend to be more laid back when they are in their homes. Are they coming to your home? People tend to be a little bit more Jimmy the Cricket when they come into a space that's not theirs and they're doing hair. Are they standing up or sitting down? Locticians work faster when they are standing up. Okay, is the TV on the whole time or not? This adds time to the service. So pay attention to the environment that you go into when you meet the person. Get a feel for how they are working with their other clients or the energy of their business. Do they have a website? What do the pictures look like? Do they have any marketing materials in the shop? Are they selling other items? How long have they been doing this? All of those sort of things can matter, because people always present one face to the world, and then other times everybody's not who they are in different environments all the time. They're not the same person. So you want to kind of get a feel for that. If you really are considering somebody, it might even be worth it to drop by. If they have a salon, to drop by unannounced. If it's in a public arena, and it's the type of thing that you can do, and it's not in someone's home. These are kind of things that can be important. Number 7, in line with number 6, are the references. Can you see what work they've done before? Can they give you the number of a few people to call who have been previous clients? Can they give you the number of someone who was a previous client that is no longer a client? That's a tricky question, but it's something good to try to get. Person can show you their Instagram page all day long. They can tell you, that they, do good service, that all of their clients are satisfied. But how do you really know? How do you know? It's different. We don't have the benefit of Google reviews. Like, take for example my business, Hair Reiki, the healing aspect of the business. I have maybe like 80 something reviews. They're all 5 stars. How I can't get 80 people to lie, right? Sisterlock we don't have that as something to look at in terms of evaluation. Someone whose name you have can be secured from the website or through word of mouth, and you still don't always know. So it's nice if you can find, even if it's a client whose hair they no longer do, maybe because that person moved, someone who's not necessarily a threat to them. If you're not comfortable asking for that information, then at least spend some time talking to the people whose hair they are currently doing. And you will always find that when you ask for a reference, think about it. A person really cannot lie. They may withhold information, but very few people will actually lie and misrepresent the truth. They may say something like, wow, she does a great job. They may rant and rave about the person, but they may never say, and you will always get in and out on time. So listen to what they don't say as well as what they do say, but get your references. I don't care what pictures you see on a site. Everything today in this world is all about illusions and marketing. You don't always know what you're getting until you've already stepped into a situation. Number 8, timeliness and punctuality. Okay, that's important. That is important because, first, are you timely and are you punctual? But it's important because when you get your retightnings, you're talking 2 to 4.5 or so hours. You need to know if you're planning your life, if you have children, that sort of thing. You don't want to set an appointment at 1 and then you get there and you have to wait until 2:30. With both of my locticians, they are always on time. If anything shifts, when my loctician Efraj used to come to the house because she was mobile, and I love that. I was caught up in that rapture for maybe 2 or 3 years. Now I have to go to her shop. She moved back to Atlanta. But if anything, she might be running a few minutes late, and that was fine with me because we were always doing it really, really early in the morning. And so usually I'd be rolling out of bed at that time, hoping that she would call me and tell me she was going to be about 10 minutes late. I didn't mind. But we always make up for it. I still end at the same time I typically would, if not earlier. So that type of thing makes a difference. Number 9, the ease and patience with which they respond to your questions. And I spoke about this before. And the reason why this is important is because the more questions that you ask in the beginning, the more you get a sense from a person. Are they dismissive? Are they short and to the point? Are they indirect? Are they direct? Do they seem to become annoyed because you keep asking these questions? Trust me, you want to know this going in. When you get these Sisterlocks, you're going to have a ton of questions in the first few months because your hair is going to be doing all kinds of things, and there's no manner of videos online that are going to explain what you might be experiencing personally. And at the end of the day, regardless of what a lot of us may say on this channel or any other platform, you are more inclined to listen to your loctician or to take their advice, or at least not to be openly rebellious because they're the ones doing your hair. So you want to really, really keep that in mind. Really, really get a feel for, is this person patient? Are they going to answer my questions? Or do they seem like they're condescending when I ask them this question? Are they dismissive? This stuff is important. Number 10, booking procedures and frequency. Very, very, very important. You want to know, you're trying to get a feel for, is this person always tightly booked? How early in advance do you need to book these appointments? If you wait to book too late, are they not going to be able to fit you in? This is real, and this happens. I waited too late. You know, I'm spontaneous in a lot of the things that I do. And I remember it was during a holy month for Efraj, and this was a busy time. I think either she was out of town or fasting or something like that. And I called to get my hair done, and there weren't not any openings for maybe 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. And oh my goodness, I typically wait anyway on retightenings. I typically don't go every 8, 9, or sometimes maybe 10 weeks. I try to get in there by around 10 or 11 weeks. But I remember thinking, wow. And somehow prior to that, I remember thinking I need to have a backup just in case. And this I also, was on the heels of her, I think, getting ready to move out of the state. So I had planted in my mind anyway, I needed to be having a backup. And so I remember another lady, and I tried to reach her a couple times, didn't have any luck, tried to call again that same day, had some luck, and just through sheer rapport, she was able to get me in like in the next 3 days. She let me make an appointment. I didn't have to pay online. She just trusted me, and I went in, and it was love at first sight. After that, we've been working together in terms of doing my hair along with Efraj for some years now. But you need to know this information going in, and my advice is to always at least be doing a little bit of research and have someone as a backup, because you just never know, especially if you're in that first year or so and you're early on into getting your Sisterlocks. You need to be on time for your appointments. During that first year, you don't need to be late. You don't need to be doing what you hear me saying do, which is I push to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks. Last time I was on the edge of 12. You can't do that in the beginning. So you need to have a real good sense of, when I leave here, do I need to book my next appointment? Or do I need to book 2 or 3 weeks before I need to come in? Or will you always have a spot for me? Just get a feel for this. And then last but not least, number 11, and this is important. This is really important. And this is finding out before you make a choice, are you dealing with someone who is a licensed hairstylist or cosmetologist, or are they a Sisterlocks consultant, someone who has been trained on Sisterlocks but may not really have any formal experience with natural hair, not just doing hair, but natural hair in general. Efraj brought this up to me when I released that ambassador video many months ago. And it made sense to me, and I really agreed with it. And she used that to say, in her defense and in my questioning, my inquiry, why it is that some people say we don't need oil. And she says, well, her position sort of was that people who are not natural hair stylists may feel that way. But if you do natural hair and you're a licensed cosmetologist and you work with black hair, you know that we need oil on our hair, or you know enough to be able to tell what kind of hair cannot really do very well without oil. Now, that could be true for just her and just me. I believe that. You may not believe that, and that's fine. If you don't believe that, then that's not going to be your reality anyway. Don't put oil in your hair. But if you do feel that way, then it's something you need to think about. And that can manifest across all areas of what they do with your hair. It can affect the amount of tension they put on your hair. It can affect their ability to determine when your hair may be breaking before you actually see the breakage. There are a million reasons why you might prefer someone who is a licensed cosmetologist or natural hairstylist and a Sisterlocks consultant versus just one or the other. For others of you, it may not make a difference, because they may do such a good job and be so passionate about what they do that you know that you are in good hands, and there is no doubt. It can make a difference in terms of their ability to serve and their passion for good customer service. There are a lot of reasons why these things can, you get the idea. If someone's a licensed cosmetologist or a hairstylist, natural hairstylist, they know something about natural hair. They've been in the game for a while. They probably have quite a large following of clientele. There are a lot of other things that you can look at that can give you a more grounded feeling. They're not going to be a fly by the seat of their pants type individual, someone who just jumped into this to make the money and then, pull your hair out before you know your grid is all crazy and you got all these problems. Was this someone who was really grounded in hair care? So you're with Tanisha Ali, Butterfly Transformations, giving you clarity, up-leveling your mindset, helping you to clear and heal energetic road blockages so that you can manifest the glory of God that is within you. I hope that you have a marvelous, peaceful, productive, and prosperous day. Hopefully this video benefited you. Please, if you are still watching this part of the video, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share or comment if you know someone that has locks, if they're a newbie, if you know someone that is considering Sisterlocks. Also, let me know what else you found to be very valuable in your journey towards Sisterlocks or in your current journey. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.